April is Financial Literacy Month, and this morning we're learning more about how parents can set their children up for financial success that will help them when they become an adult.
That's right. We're talking about money management skills, credit scores, and a whole lot more. Joining us right now is Chief Marketing Officer, Members Choice of Credit Union. That's Robin Tooms. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in. This is such an important conversation, and it's never too early to start this conversation. Talk to us about how you can explain this topic, which can be very complicated, to the kiddos.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's a common question, because especially it depends on what age your kid is. So some people always ask, like, how early is too early? Well, the truth is 5 is a really good age to start having some preliminary conversations about money. So think about this. When you're 5, you start forming some basic understandings. So kids see mom and dad check out at the grocery store. They understand about kind of that money is part of that transaction. And there's another key milestone as well about how you're going to talk to your kids about money. It's at age 10. So think about this. 40% of 10-year-olds have cell phones.
Wow.
And that is a
Really?
golden opportunity. Really, that is
My
the most
goodness,
recent
almost
stat.
half.
Almost half. And in a couple of years, obviously, that's going
Right.
to be over half.
They'll be like 75%.
Probably. But that is the golden opportunity, because
Yeah.
when you talk about how are you going to start talking to kids about money, is think about when they're interacting with the world about money. And that phone is a game changer. What that phone does is it changes the way they interact with family and friends, and more importantly, businesses. So you can start having that conversation as early as 10.
Yeah.
So what specifically are the skill sets you're trying to teach them when they're age 5 through 10?
Yeah, you're going to start with the basics: save, earn, and spend. So in this case, like, save may be, what does it mean to set aside a little bit of your allowance or pet sitting money to save it for something that you're going to truly enjoy. Earn is also something that's really interesting, because not all kids like have an income and earn money, but they can have their money earn money by putting it in a checking account so that they can see that it earns interest. And then spending is also interesting too, because once they have that checking account, they can start tracking their spending. They can be looking at how the money flows in and out. They can be using a debit card and learning how these adult life skills can start early on. So those are the ways you can do it, because honestly, the best way is just have them hands-on start doing it.
Yeah. And by doing so, you can do that at a young age by, offering up some sort of an allowance. If you clean your room, if you help mom or dad pick up the house, whatever it be.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there are gifts. Think about like cool aunts like me that are going to give your kids gifts.
We always love the cool ones, right? At Christmas time? Yes. Yeah. That's really good. And then you can apply them to the real world, right? The things that you learn throughout elementary school, middle school, high school. Apply it to the real world.
Yeah, and a lot, believe it or not, school is important. The education they get in school is important, but a lot of financial skills start at home. So think about mom and dad having those conversations with them, showing them how money works, helping them understand how money works. We call that financial literacy.
Yeah.
And what that means is that they truly understand how money works and how it can work for them. And these are true adult life skills.
Yeah.
So speaking of adult life skills, when would you recommend a child to have their own checking account?
Yeah, well, I personally would recommend, well, obviously every child has different development cycle, but in general, 10 is a good age to say, this is a time for them to start having that checking account. And again, because that cell phone is such a game changer, and that way they can put that debit card in their digital wallet, they have it with them, they're not relying on other insecure methods of money movement, whether it's cash or cash apps, which many parents do rely on because they're convenient. But a checking account is a better way to go there.
Checking account, debit card. What about a credit card?
Well, technically speaking, you're going to have to be 18 to get a credit card. But I would say those life skills you learn about how to use a debit card while you're in that tween teens period is going to help you be a better credit card user as an adult. So here's the thing about this is, kids that learn these skills early on, they understand how money works. They have better credit scores as adults. They have less debt.
More responsibility.
They'll use that credit card more responsibly when they do have one. I wish I learned that, because honestly, when I was 18 in college, I was not responsible with my credit card.
Robin.
I was not. Who is?
Yeah, right.
Who is? But this is, I think, a gift that parents can give their kids, is helping them learn those skills early on, so that when they do navigate those challenges, such as they're at campus and that credit card company is trying to give them a credit card, they understand how to use it responsibly.
Yeah. Now, this is a really great conversation. And the bottom line here is that depending on how old your child is, that conversation might look a little different, but the outcome is all the same, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. All good information.